Hello, my name is Parker, and welcome to my channel if you are new here. Today we are joined by a little tiny special guest, so if you hear anything, her name is Lucy, and I'm pup sitting, so yeah. Today is day 15 of our month-long prompt event, Echoes of the Past October. If you haven't checked out any of the previous installments, please go do so now. This event is being run by Typically Untypical. If you haven't gotten the chance to check them out, please go check them out now, as they are an amazing author. Today's prompt is, I should start charging Uncomfortable Thoughts rent, except what would they pay me in? Probably something even worth. Lilith Sandcrow. There are some trigger warnings, so watch at your own discretion and check that description. Without any further ado, this is my story, Rent. Remy was an insomniac. He had been ever since he could remember. It was no one else's fault but his own. His parents told him there was once a time that he only ever wanted to sleep. He was so used to it. What he wasn't used to was the flood of uncomfortable thoughts that were coming in so strongly as of late. Remy sighed. While working on the school project he had gotten in order to keep himself from his thoughts. However, he was almost done, and he could only hold them off for a little while longer. He sighed, clicking his black ink pen closed and staring at the roof. He was so tired, but his thoughts began to spiral, like something was physically pulling him down. One thought leading to another, he found himself sitting on the floor, desperately gasping for air. He wished his little brother was around. Virgil was much more experienced with calming down than Remy was. Remy lived life by the moment, while his brother suffered from severe anxiety and was known to constantly plan for anything and everything. This, of course, brought Remy's mind to the night that caused them to lose contact. It was a day like any other. Virgil freaking out about how Remy shouldn't go out partying on a Sunday night, and Remy saying it would be okay. Remy went to the party and ended up pretty drunk. He had no one else to turn to, so he called his brother to ask if he could pick him up. Everything was fine. Virgil was pretty upset about having to go get him, but he drove over. When Remy stumbled into the car, Virgil gave him a disgusted look and just started driving, cranking up the music high. Neither of them had noticed they were in a bad neighborhood until Virgil hit his brakes because someone was rocking in front of the car. He was so preoccupied by the man who he had almost hit and the loud music, he hadn't even noticed when Remy slid out of the car to go talk to someone who waved him over. Virgil felt terrible about Remy ending up in the hospital that night, but also decided that this was his final straw. So, just like that, his brother paid for his hospital bills, but told him not to reach out until he was more mature. Remy wasn't sure when or if that day would ever truly come. That simply had never been the type of person he was. Although Remy hadn't picked up any form of alcohol since that night, he didn't think that was what his brother had meant. He asked one of their mutual friends about Virgil a few months later after it had happened, only to find out his brother had moved to Georgia with his boyfriend a month after that incident. So Remy let Virgil live his life, even on nights that he felt like he needed him more than ever. Even years later, he hadn't reached out. He wanted to, he really did. It was something he had wanted ever since he left. Even more so since the uncomfortable thoughts began plaguing his mind, and only for a second, he thought maybe he should make those thoughts pay rent. Though he let out a humorous laugh, because the only thing he could get as rent is something much worse. And he closed his eyes, exhaling. I do hope you guys have enjoyed today's episode. It was one of my favorites, and I will see you all tomorrow. Have a wonderful day.